Hey, it is Michael. Welcome again. So today we are doing again interview. I've got Stepan with me, which I'm going to introduce to you in a very second. So he's from the SaaSJet and we will be doing a presentation. Oh, he will be doing, actually, I'll be helping him a little bit, asking questions as always. I'm not going to be, probably I'm going to try not to be too much annoyed, but let's do it. But guys, today Stepan is actually my very special guest because he's from Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine, Stepan. And as you know, guys, I am Polish, and that's why it means a lot to me, guys, because we as Polish people, probably most of us, we supporting, of course, Ukraine in this terrible war. But obviously, we're not going to talk about war today, so we're going to talk about app. So welcome, Stepan. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you
How
for
are you today?
your support, and thank you for having me today. I'm fully fine, so I'm excited to discuss today one of our top products and tell you about our company and answer any questions. Probably, I do hope that the information about this product may help the product managers and project managers to build the analytics around around the delivery process and find some bottleneck to improve.
Absolutely. So my first question, who is the target audience regarding your app?
Well, the target audience, now we know it based on who we talk to on a daily basis. We have like demo session with the people, or we have some session when we try to help our customers to figure out the best insights they may need around our tool. Well, and I may say that the first of all is that's the people from IT or some department in the companies, the IT departments in some corporate sector. Well, it's project managers first of all in IT sphere who run the Scrum, who run the Kanban. Second is people from the tech support or from support, and they need to monitor how successful they are with actually the customers, and they need to track the time and statuses. So that's the second, and the third probably which we can focus on is actually the delivery managers, the portfolio managers, etc. So the people who actually focus on a few projects or portfolio of projects. So they need more kind of helicopter view on what's going on. So they probably are not that focused on the Scrum, on the sprints, right? How it goes, but they need some helicopter view on how the team perform, and when they can find a way to improve the delivery speed, for example.
Delivery. Sounds really great. And my first annoying question, because I can see definitely it is for the cloud, but is your product also for server/data center?
Well, from the very beginning, the company, company SaaSJet has been started 4 years ago, and actually from the very beginning we tried to build products for the cloud only. We have only one add-on that is for server, but the rest are only for the cloud, and the time and status particularly is only for the cloud.
Okay, no problem. Cloud is of course dominating, but the one I'm asking, I have a lot of people on my channel, which of course got up 2 products, but I probably will be guessing like, well, I don't know, don't want to speculate, but looks like Atlassian finally, well, sooner, probably next couple of years, kill even the data center. We'll see. Of course, we will see. So, guys, before we're gonna actually give you a presentation, before Stepan is gonna provide you a presentation, two things, please. If you can subscribe to my channel, and secondly, if you stay to the last, to basically to the end of this training, we have, of course, how many? We've got 2 codes for you when you're gonna get 20% discount, and I am gonna actually post, of course, these details in the description. So yes, if you stay to the last last moment of this interview, you're gonna actually see the codes. Well, of course, that will be in the description as well. All right, so please, Stepan, present and show us some. I believe this is gonna be something close to real life examples.
Yeah, actually,
Fantastic.
yeah, you may see it's the main page for our add-on. And so as I mentioned before, it called time and status. But anyway, it has more reports here, but the core one is time and status. We have actually the possibility to show this important information in the different reports. For example, we can show the how much time every assignee spent on some particular Jira issue. We can generate the report with the average time for every status in some particular period of time. We can generate the status count, so it means that the system will display how many times every issue has in some particular status, right? The entrance date, so you can check when when exactly some particular issue has been transitioned to some status, right? The most popular, right? The timing status. So it's about it that you can see on my screen. So well, it's a list of issues, and at the header is a list of statuses, and actually how many time, how many I don't know, hours and minutes it's been in this status. Yeah, you can generate it like against every issue, or you can see it like by the periods. If you are not interested in a very exact issue, you may generate it like time in status in a period of time, like for example, like in status per day, something like that. So it's kind of a mix. And transition count report, so it can display how many times some issue has been moved from one status to another in its history. I personally really like this report when you need, for example, to check if you're working in the delivery, and delivery in a sprint, for example, it's really critical to decrease the amount of transaction from the testing to back to the engineers. It's really crucial because it blocks the version releases, it blocks the sprint velocity at all. So that's why it's really important, first of all, to measure these transitions from, for example, from testing to go to engineers, or to do, or in progress, whatever you have, and then to put it as a KPI to guys, measure it, present it to the team, focus that you are, as a manager, you are monitoring it, the result, who is actually the better in this particular case, who is not that great. And actually you can work, that's what we actually call like finding the bottleneck, because that's the bottleneck. No one tells you that, actually this assignee or this team member is actually is working bad because that the amount of returns is high. But with our tool, it's possible to check it. It's possible to In my work, we even had opportunity to found actually even what's the issue type can generate the higher rank of this return. So we just realized that you can actually find the insight that some people not that mature, for example, they are not that good in user stories, so they need probably some kind of small issues to resolve, and they may learn and then go to some more advanced task to resolve. So
Exactly.
that's actually what you can do. So first of all, in our tool, you have to check what's the report type you want to generate. Then go to the scope, what you want to generate. And here there's the list of actually items, right? So you may
just like sorting.
Yeah,
yes.
it's basically how to get the issues by Asini. You can get the prepared in advance filter, right? By GQL, so you can probably, if you know the GQL, so you can type it. By label, project, by reporter, by sprint, if you need to analyze exactly the sprint, and by epic. So then once you selected, right, the project, for example, in my case, there's the project. So here the system proposes you to the projects that you as a user has permissions to, right?
It looks really good, and I can tell you something.
Yeah.
Something like this is extremely useful, as you're saying, especially for probably for management, for Scrum Masters, yes, but like even the communication with Scrum Master with the product owner, it's extremely powerful, because I believe this is done absolutely, guys, fully automatic. Yeah, so you don't have to really do anything, because this plugin is taking the details from Jira, and obviously taking time and status in Jira by default is extremely difficult if you do not have any other plugins. I don't know any way how to extract this information without the plugin.
I think it's not possible.
I don't think it's possible. Yeah. I don't think it's possible. And yes, it is. For instance, I guess I know I've been doing this myself in EasyBI, but EasyBI is a beast. And this one just looks so nice, so clean. So what else do we have? I can see we can export it. Yes, we can configure it, because I am correct. This is the main element of the plugin, and probably that's it. Yes. Or do you have an extra reports? Because you can.
Well, the reports it's only one kind of item here. So here's a very important thing. And what we were asked many times by our customers, that's from one side you can you can get a list of issues, right, that you want to build the report. Like basically said, it's scope of issues, right, that you want to get the report. But sometimes issues are created in some random, style. For example, some of them may be created by some founder, by some CEO, by some tester, whatever. And the another thing is when you are working on it, right? So when it goes to for example, to the sprint, and for that particular case, we have the feature, we call it trim history. For example, you can get the report by, for example, for the June, right? For all of the created issues, for all the issues that have been created in June, but you want to get the report, for example, only by 1 month, or only for example 1 week. So
for what week?
Yeah, you need the issues created in June, but you're interested in the time just for some particular period of time. So that's the two dimensions,
just like
right?
Sunday, Monday, Sunday.
Yeah,
Sunday,
because
like
that the issue may could be created, the months ago or even year ago, and it's more important when you've been working on it, right? And that's why we have this trim history stuff. So once you apply,
looks good.
And it will, the change this
The
setting.
grid was changing. Fantastic.
Oh, we probably cut too much, but anyway. So for the managers, for the lazy guys, so you can switch this off, and it will highlight the biggest numbers here.
Yeah.
So it will.
And can you just like, sorry. Can you, like, you've got this highlight, like bold is 40 hours. So can you actually set this something in the settings? Like, for instance, I don't know, if you want to set 35 hours, is it possible?
Well, it depends on how long it's been in this status. So it seems like probably this issue in the cancel, so it's still there, and that's why, because we check it for if you change, I don't know, for example, for this period, the numbers can be different. Yeah, see.
Oh, I see. Clever. And you've got also the calendar view, probably, yes?
Well, we do use the calendar, so you can create unlimited amount of calendars here. So, for example, I don't know, it's very useful to check it if you have it can be 24/7, or you can create the calendars based on your, I don't know, country specific calendar. I don't know, and add any holidays, breaks, let's check it.
So includes, for instance, yes, bank holidays. Yep.
I think it's a bit slow because I'm sharing the screen and I'm sharing the video, so it's.
Yeah, also Riverside, the software what we're using, guys, is actually a little bit demanding if we're talking about the hardware. That's why normally it's not going to be that slow.
Yeah, so you can see that's I added I clicked on permission. Anyway, so I'll change it now, but here is actually the permission that you can actually provide a permission to this add-on, not to all of the groups of users, but only for some. Just if you want to monitor something really privately, so just feel free. And let's work calendar. Let's go to the work calendars.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can see here are a lot of calendars, but you can actually you can create like the calendar particularly for some time zone with work hours, with the breaks, to add some holidays, regular, right? And it will be and it will generate really precise the report and display you at the screen, right? So it will exclude non-working days and non-working hours. Actually, it will exclude. Let's back to the report part.
Okay, it's generating a report.
it's actually it's been generated like the average time, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So what is more, except of the calendar, you can select the formats in which you want to display your information, right? So it's more like human friendly, or it's more like machine friendly, I would say, just in order to analyze it in the Excel.
Yeah. So you can change the format. And I saw you can also export the results. Like if you, for instance, want to export it to Excel,
You can
yes?
prepare you can export any view, any report, and play with this information
Fantastic.
in Excel if you advance in this system, right? So it's much easier for you to play there. So one more thing that I wanted to show you is about the columns. So you, of course, you can add any issue column to this report if you need. So, and except of the time and status and pretty common used column, you can add any that you have. You can create the status group if you need to merge few columns. Like, for example, if they are pretty similar, like in testing and waiting for testing, for example, right? So you can merge them for the testing, and it will display like total time. So you can create like a group of statuses. And if you don't need some statuses on the report, you can remove them by this functionality as well. Well,
so it is very flexible.
Yeah. So actually, you may generate like two types of representation of this report, right? Well, the first one is a table that you can see right now, and the second you can like create it in a chart format, right? So
exactly, this is what I was just about to ask you. Can you generate any charts?
Yeah, and it has really lots of
fantastic.
Lots of features inside. So first of all, again, any kind of selection here. So the history, the scope. You can check. You can select three types of chart, like the bar one, the pie, and the area one. Again, calendar. And here you can select the metrics, right? So you can select the duration, for example, right? And the period. So you can, for example, check the, well, now it's by weekly reports. You see that we check the months and bi-weekly, and you can select the day, etc. And also select the what actually display in days, in hours, in minutes, etc. That's pretty flexible for you to to report to your management, etc. So for example, in this report you may see how many hours were two most popular status. If you're working with support, with customer, with the service desk, for example, there are two statuses that are critical to monitor. It's waiting for support and waiting for customer. And you may see that actually how many hours actually it's been per week to wait for the customer and wait for the support. And you may see that the support works pretty good, and it's been too long to wait for the response from customers. So that's the kind of very easy report that you can get with them.
Very easy. And I'm gonna say, if like I don't want to repeat myself, but guys, if you do not have a tool like this, there is probably zero chance you're gonna extract this from Jira, because unfortunately this data is not accessible from Jira, which is a shame. Because I would say it is actually very important information.
Of course, yeah, especially if you work with the support, right? So it's
Yeah,
really critical to monitor the thing, because if you have an SLA, you have to know what actually the biggest part of it, right? If you have a for
exactly.
example 8 hour, and the customer and your management expect you to meet this SLA, it was to mention to the management that, we are good, and
Exactly.
have some evidence that we are good, because it's actually only like 2% of whole time. It's just the issue are on us, so
Exactly.
we are good, especially here, for example.
Exactly. Last week, I've had a conversation with a client who actually asked me about this, how to identify the bottleneck. And I was like, that's really tricky.
Yeah,
That's a really tricky, especially if you're talking about the support. And I believe that it will also work with the service desk, because obviously service
yeah.
desk is a
Any
plugin,
any
but it
report,
should be any
any
project,
project type you can monitor here.
any project type, any project type. Wow, that was really helpful. Thank you very much. Do you want to add something else?
Well, there are probably two more things.
Mm-hmm.
We have extra functionality for people who are actually familiar with the pivot table. Not all people are familiar with this, because that's quite Excel feature, I would say. But let me quickly
Sure.
jump to it.
Okay.
So we have the functionality that's
wow.
actually, you can create the very deep reporting here.
Wow.
For example, we had a conversation with a client, for example, and he mentioned, okay, guys, it looks nice, so I can see how many hours and stuff like that. But let's say I don't care. I don't care about the hours.
Yep.
I really care what's the percentage.
Percentage.
Yeah, it's been in progress comparing to the whole process, right? Is it really long time, or it just, I expect some task to be completed, I don't know, in a week. So, but I know that there are some time that issues simply like on hold, or whatever, waiting for someone, etc. But what's the percentage it's really in progress? So where I can find the bottleneck, how I can help you as a manager to cut these bottlenecks, if I don't know actually whom to ask to speed up or whatever. So that's why we have this pivot table feature, that you can actually play with like four areas. You can put any issue fields to the filters, to the role, to the columns, and actually have the timing status in a value.
Wow.
And you can actually select the like count, average, median, and actually the percentage, for example. And this functionality gives you the unlimited, amount of reports, I would say. So you can create any stuff here. It really depends on your knowledge about the pivot table, but we have some great example in the documentation. So you can take a look there. And if you need some insights, use the pivot table feature, and we would be happy to help people that are looking for some special information. But it's really nice. So
it looks great. It looks great. I was not even sure you can do something like this.
Yeah, so that's very, very, I personally really like this tool, because
this is very clever.
Because previously we had we had a request, for example, okay guys, you have an assignee time and you have time in status time. But what if I want time in status per assignee? Well, so that's you cannot, you need to build like hundreds of reports here in order to cover all of these requests. And what we did, we simply added this tool, and what we want to give the people like a Lego, of course we have some typical report, you can use them and we improve it as well, but we
Hmm.
cannot fill all of the requests you may have in your particular business, right? So just try to use this pivot table. So the
Fantastic.
last thing that I would like to mention here is about the reporting. Like, so you once you find the best report for you and you want it to be saved for you,
Hmm.
so use the save it as a preset. So just like
So you're not losing
yeah, and
what
not
you've been
to
actually
and actually
creating.
if you
Yeah.
want to load any report that you've been added before, so it always here. So just save it like privately for you, or save it like for all of your team members, but use this in order not to lose some important
Hmm.
setup, right? Because once you
Absolutely.
have a preset like built report,
Hmm.
the last thing that you can
Oh,
actually
there is
share
some.
it to the Power BI, to any kind of a system, and
Ah,
play with this data, not just in Excel, which is quite easy, right? But
very clever.
to build, if your company use the Power BI or any kind of this
Yeah.
data
Or
analytic
or easy BI.
or EZBI, right? Any type of analytic tool, so you
Yeah.
can get these numbers
Hmm.
via this that data feed JSON file and integrate it
Yeah.
whenever you want. And it will be always online. It will be always, relevant information. So if it's
Hmm.
2 hours, then it's 2 hours up to now. It's not just,
Yeah.
some delay or something like that. It's really relevant information. So that's
Fantastic.
the last thing probably I wanted to show to your subscribers, right?
Fantastic. No, no, definitely, definitely worth to watch it. Okay, Stepan, thank you very, very, very much. It is amazing tool, and obviously, guys, if you want to test it. Feel free. Do you offer any 30 days free trial or 40 days? I
Sure.
don't know what's the
Well, well,
what's your
well.
policy?
It's fully Atlassian comparable.
Atlassian,
Yeah. So
so it's probably 30 days. Yes,
it's 30 days minimum, I would say. So there are
minimum.
depending on what's your actually billing cycle, but minimum
Aha,
30 days. And actually,
merit.
what we have right now, that if the big companies, they have
Mm-hmm.
some legal procedures and some
Mm-hmm.
security procedures that they need to check us, etc. And so we
Mm-hmm.
always open to to prolong the yeah
Extend.
to extend a bit this trial
Mm-hmm.
period by some tracking by some tokens,
Mm-hmm.
because we understand that sometimes it takes it takes
Oh,
weeks to
absolutely.
check whether the tool is good for me as a manager, for example, to talk to other managers, to
Yeah.
provide some feedback, etc. And then you need some time to talk to legal, to security, and stuff like that. So we are really open, and our support guys are really open to provide these extensions, just for you to check the right tool, because we know that the people select such a tool for the long period of time. So
Of course.
they build some business processes based on it, some reporting processes, and it's really crucial to select it once and use for the years.
Of course. And what I also can see, implementation is really straightforward. What I see.
Yeah,
Obviously, if you want to prepare this advanced reports or like this JSON, you need to spend a little bit extra time. But it looks like basically just install it and you can use it in the next probably minute with some extra configuration.
yeah.
Exactly. All right. So as I said before, thank you so much for this interview. And as I said before, if you missed that, we're gonna post more informations into the description. That includes that 10 extra codes, which they will include 10 codes, which is a 20% discount. And just a really final word from me, guys. Please, please support our brothers in Ukraine in this terrible, terrible war, and we will beat them. One day we will beat them. Thank you very
Yeah, thank
much,
you. My pleasure.
and thank you so much, and hopefully see you next time, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sure,
Bye
Eddie.
bye.
Thank you.